Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we are diverting a little bit from my usual content. Usually I talk about like video games, reviews on media and pop culture, a little bit of the Hunger Games, actually a lot of the Hunger Games. That's mostly what my content is. So something big has happened. Not so big, not everyone knows about it. I know about it because I love Watcher. Watcher is a YouTube channel and it has two of the three people who are the faces of Watcher are from BuzzFeed Unsolved originally, Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej. And then the other third is Stephen Lim. And Stephen Lim, I believe, is like in a CEO position. And then Ryan and Shane are kind of like a little bit like below, I guess, boss-wise. And they all founded the company, but they stepped down a little bit because they wanted to be a little bit more creative. So Stephen Lim is the CEO. Just so we have a little bit of information going into this, who really called the shots. They probably were all in all the meetings for this, but the YouTube video is called Goodbye YouTube, and it's devastating. I haven't actually watched this video yet, but I've read the comments, and oh my god, I've been obsessed with reading the comments because I wanted to make a video about it. But I've been watching TikToks. People are livid about this. So am I. From the information I know, I can't believe they've done this. So we'll watch it. What it is that they've stuck their content behind a paywall, but I don't know all the information yet because I haven't watched the video. So let's start with watching the video, and I'm going to break up as we go, like decipher exactly what led to this decision, and I will be talking about, I'll pause it at some points and we'll talk a little bit about each section. And yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster. And at the end, I'm going to discuss why this is maybe not the best decision for Watcher to have made. And my credentials, not much. You know, I'm a business student. I know a little bit about business, but the keyword there is student. So I'm maybe not the best person, but I do have a little bit of knowledge behind me, so maybe it's more than what Watcher has backing them. Sorry, a little bit of shade. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's watch this. Watcher headquarters, Hollywood, California. Is that what it stands for? CO? I'm not American. I'm Australian, so I have the professor. I love puppet history. I'm so sad I won't be able to watch it anymore.
Alrighty.
Ryan, Shane, and Stephen. And just before we start, actually, there's been a lot of hate for Stephen Lim, but we don't know for sure that he's the one that actually called the shots. He is in that kind of CEO position, but we don't know entirely if he's the one that really came up with the idea, said this is what we're going to do. From what I know, from what they've mentioned on the surface on their YouTube, Ryan and Shane very likely would have been in meetings with Stephen, and they would have had like a team of people deciding this and getting advice. The team of people might not have been good though, so I think there's been maybe a disproportionate hate against Stephen. As it turns out, the fan base does not like him as much as they like Shane and Ryan. But let's continue.
As sad as it is to say goodbye to YouTube, it's the right thing to do.
If this is my last time on YouTube, then baby, what a life I've lived here on this platform.
Lived a life,
I grew up
and
on
then
YouTube. All
it's
of my
nowhere
heroes
now.
were on YouTube. I learned how to be a human on YouTube. Taking a step away from it,
Did I say Ryan or Shane? I don't know.
it's just tough because I've always really loved and cared about the YouTube community, so it's hard to leave.
My name is Ryan Steven Vergara, and I'm part of Advanced Video Production.
Can I just point out that their goodbye to YouTube is monetized like crazy? The amount of ads I've seen, oh my god. They're still trying to make money off of YouTube, even though they've like stuck this $6 paywall. Anyway, moving on.
Hello, I'm Professor Morris Ashley. Welcome to another exciting episode of Extreme Science.
I had no idea what to do for my intro. Please don't stop watching. Please.
My first YouTube video that I ever made was in 2012.
And that, my friends, is how you will become the most baller in your city.
it's so embarrassing. But I think it really encapsulates early YouTube, which is this like unfettered joy of just making and creating something that was in your head and sharing it with the world.
Okay.
I just remember from like a young age, it was a way for me to feel like I had a purpose, or it was a way for me to find self-esteem. I guess when I'm making things, it's when I feel the most alive. And I think that's carried over into my adult life. And in a lot of ways, sometimes I look back and it feels like I haven't really even grown up. And I'm sure if you ask people about that, they probably would agree with me.
Okay.
That I have not grown up.
I went to Northern Illinois University for 2 years because it felt very selfish and weird to want to go into film. And I was like, I gotta do something responsible.
I mean,
can't just do something that is fun.
Same.
And then
That's why I
after
did
2 years of that, I was
business.
like, I'm really sad, and I really don't. Like, I was like, I guess it's worth maybe pursuing my, creative ambitions. So then I went to Columbia College in Chicago and studied editing. But even
I also
before
did
that, when I was
arts,
at Northern,
by the
I was
way.
still making a bunch
This
of
isn't about me.
little videos. Plenty of dumb little videos.
Myself, Shane, Steven, we all came from BuzzFeed. It was kind of like the formative years of our creative process.
I didn't really know how to make a video. I didn't know virality. I didn't understand the internet that well. So BuzzFeed for me was like college.
I had a great time there. I was never very good at sort of chasing like viral stuff.
What? Hang on a minute. Okay, did they learn skills? Not being able to chase viral stuff, and suddenly their company is going under, and so they have to create a paywall. So if their skills didn't improve, now we haven't watched the whole thing, I feel like we need to move on from, hang on, what I'm looking at right now. Hang on, just give me a minute.
That I did find success with was stuff that I was very passionate.
Okay, so that was just a weird place to stop. I'm sorry. It's so they didn't really understand virality, didn't understand how to make videos, like the business side of things, which is, I think, interesting to note now that they're not making very good business decisions, so maybe they didn't pick up the skills. And what I found very interesting from that is they mentioned the fact that they enjoyed BuzzFeed and their time at BuzzFeed, which is odd, seeing as the reason they all left BuzzFeed, it was like a why I left BuzzFeed like trend for so long, when people from the Try Guys, Sophia, Nygaard, and other people, those are just the ones I watch, were saying why I left BuzzFeed, because it was a toxic workplace and they worked them to the bone. And yet they're saying they enjoyed their experience there, which is just very interesting to note, I think. Okay.
Passionate about, and that was kind of hit or miss,
Yeah, we were working crazy hours trying to get the next cool hit video out, trying to make the next big thing, and that was the culture there. It was fun, but also intense.
What? Hang on a minute. So it was fun but intense. So the people were leaving BuzzFeed, and we know this from the Why I Left BuzzFeed videos, is that people were not enjoying the environment, and the organizational culture that BuzzFeed had cultivated. So everyone was leaving. And Stephen Lim is saying it was fun. It was intense, but it was really fun. We enjoyed it. We loved it there. Did you? Maybe they're trying not to get a defamation case. Who knows?
Steven and myself made something called Worth It and Unsolved, respectively.
That was when I went from like, oh, this is the Asian kid in the BuzzFeed video, to like, oh, that's Stephen Lim. That's like the guy who hosts Worth It.
Luckily, I was, roped into Unsolved, and was able to be in that.
There was a fire in all three of us. We had something to prove. We had a passion.
There was a fire in all three of us, and Shane was like, I was just roped into it. Shane feels oddly out of place in that organizational culture. That's interesting. Okay.
We're making content and making it to a certain level of quality that would perhaps punch above its weight. And so we figured, okay, if we can make something for BuzzFeed that's like that, why couldn't we not bet on ourselves and then perhaps do the same thing at our own little shop? When the three of us huddled together around my little kitchen table in my apartment, we kind of wrote down the mission statement of just, we want to make a studio or a platform where we could make unscripted television caliber content on the internet. And to that point, nobody had quite done that. Full-blown developed shows had not been kind of a thing on YouTube to that point. Especially when we first started Unsolved and Worth It, and we wanted to continue that trend over here at Watcher.
So you guys know how JoJo Siwa has been coming out and saying, I invented gay pop. You guys have seen that? I hope so, because that's what I'm about to refer to. Ryan saying that there hasn't been like TV show style videos on the internet on YouTube before feels a lot like JoJo Siwa saying there's never been gay pop before. You know, there has. Let's talk about, first of all, Smosh. Smosh, whilst very skits and they weren't like unscripted, they were definitely scripted, it did have that like high production quality to it. There have definitely been more like, and I don't remember all the names to them, but I have definitely watched some of them. There's been reaction videos, there have been, I know people refer to Ren and Link a lot. They definitely are the ones who, it's just, they've done it before, and it's happened before, and you are not the first people to invent stuff that genre on YouTube. Especially since YouTube, as it gets older, it brings people who have the resources to the platform as well, and you kind of need to be a professional in some sort in this day and age on YouTube. So Ryan saying that feels dumb, quite frankly. No, you didn't invent that. No, Watcher, back when you started, what was it, 2019, 2020-ish, when Watcher started? No, it's been around for a while. Thanks.
I think the philosophy of Watcher is us very earnestly exploring something without much irony. Granted, when we're doing our ghost hunts, it's a jokey channel, but I think underneath it all, there's like a genuine interest in stuff and a passion for exploring, the stuff that we're interested in.
I'm so proud of what we've built here.
Does Shane know what's going on? Is he aware about what's going on? Is he just simply an employee at this point? No offense. Look, if he has more behind the scenes and knows what's going on, the way he did that interview seemed like he has no clue what's going on. Like, stuff. We're just doing stuff, and the stuff we enjoy. Is Shane okay? Shane, blink twice if you need help. Help. Do you need help? Shane. Do we need to get you out of there? Anyway.
Here, Watcher. My proudest moments have been being able to hire incredible people. So growing our staff from 3 to 6 to 10 to 20 to 25. I'm proud of the fans and the community that we've fostered.
Maybe that's the best part. The tangible effect of it is like you're out in public and people are like, hey, wow, we watched a lot of your content during a tough time and it really helped us. And that's always really nice. Especially when we do our live shows, you notice that it's very fascinating. The audience that we've attracted are also weirdos in the most positive sense.
I'm very happy with the progress that we've made over here at Watcher over these past 4.5 years, but it feels like we are just at the point where we've hit a bit of a ceiling in terms of what YouTube is able to offer.
More than 50% of our business is run by advertising. We are relying on ads to make money, to pay the bills, to run this office, to make...
So is all of YouTube. That's all I have to say. Everyone who's on YouTube is doing the same. There are a lot of people who don't do sponsorships. I think if you're running a proper business, you probably do sponsorships, but there are some people who don't do sponsorships. Jenna Marbles never did, at least not towards the end of her career on YouTube. Jenna Marbles always a great example. Love her. Anyway, there are a lot of people, I think they have a Patreon as well, I believe, that I've seen people talking about how they make $100K a month, which is insane on there. I don't know how accurate it is. Someone in the comments said maybe between 60 to 100K, which is insane and should be able to fund a production of a couple of episodes or an entire season if you're budgeting correctly. and if you're being very resourceful, and the revenue you get from YouTube should be a part of your profit and how you pay your employees. In fact, I feel like maybe your profit should be derived maybe from sponsorships, but that really depends on what your business model looks like. But at the end of the day, yeah, so everyone who's on YouTube is the same as that, so I don't really see why you think you're any different. Sorry. No, sorry.
Beautiful content for all of you guys out there. Unfortunately, over time, the deals that we were getting in 2019, 2020 are looking a lot different than they are today. We're making something for two audiences. We're making it for the fans, all of you out there, and we're also making it to please the advertisers. It's difficult to make the stuff that we want to make and also then appeal to the advertisers as well.
It costs a certain amount to make content in the way that we do it. We try to put things on the screen that we feel adheres to a certain level of quality that you would find on, say, a Netflix or something like that. But
I know they're trying to adhere to that, and Ryan has mentioned in the channel in the past that that is what their aim is, but what they're doing is really good quality for YouTube, keyword for YouTube, but it's nothing that other people haven't done in the past and have figured out and budgeted for and have been resourceful. Anyway, I keep getting distracted.
in doing so, it does cost a certain amount. Like, for example, a Ghost Files episode. First, we have to travel to the location itself. We have to pay the location fee. We have to pay freelance staff that comes to help us shoot that when we're shooting in the studio. We have to pay for the studio to shoot the actual episode in. Then we have to pay for post. Before that, we also have to do the pre-production of the episode. And when you add that all up, we're talking about an end of the season that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No. I'm sorry, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. Hang on a minute. I guess when it comes to people's salaries, first of all, I don't know why they've got freelancers. Freelancers, look, the gig economy is growing larger, especially with social media. But freelancers in a particular company like this, when you're budgeting, when you don't necessarily have the money, is not resourceful whatsoever. And with all these people they're saying, first of all, they're on a plane across country, and America is about the same size as Australia. The landmass is just shaped different. So when we're talking about them traveling across country, you could very easily take like a bus, a car, with all your equipment instead of a plane. So it'd be significantly cheaper. It will just add time to travel. So what you do for a season, you start in one location in California, which is where they're based, and then you travel all the way to the locations to, what's the other side of America? New York? I don't know. I'm not that good at geography in America, right? But I know that it's quite far away, and it does take quite a bit. In Australian terms, it takes quite a bit to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. But if you're doing it like road trip style and being resourceful, it's going to, in the long run, be quite cheaper in travel, which is probably where most of their expenses are coming from. And if you do different locations and move across the country, it's going to take less, and you just, you do a trip for a week or two, and that's when you're on your business trip away from home, that sort of thing, instead of, I know that they go places, they come back, from what I can tell from their like behind the scenes of when they do Ghost Files. They go somewhere, they come back, and then they go again and come back, or they do 2 locations and come back. I think that's how they do it, and that is such a waste of money when you're on a budget. You shouldn't be doing that. And the people that they're paying, they should just have people who travel with them for business trips, and that's a part of their job description and their salary. And you shouldn't be paying that much. And they said also a studio, that they have to pay for the studio location, and the location should be in, like, what's your headquarters? It should be in their office, or it should be in someone's basement, like how BuzzFeed Unsolved used to look like. You should have the set pretty much all year round, or you have the room and you change up the set when you need a different season. I know at the Try Guys, they have their set, and they just make it look different depending on what show they're shooting. That to me is resourcefulness. And Watcher doesn't seem to be doing that. So you're making like one season a year of Ghost Files, and that set is just staying there empty pretty much all year by the looks of it. I think they use the same set-ish for Mystery Files, but that's also still only twice a year. You should be reusing it and changing the props out. I know a lot of people have been talking about budgets, and it does look like they're budgeting wrong, like by a long shot.
Sitting here complaining that is the bed we've made. Everyone has different missions they're marching towards on YouTube. Ours was to make a television show. And, over time, you start to realize, like, hey, maybe television shows aren't meant for YouTube. Perhaps we should find a different place that's better suited to the content that we're making and can support the dollar amount that we're putting into each of these episodes so that we're not constantly running around trying to find sources of revenue to support the model.
We work from the other direction here, which is like we start first by looking at what we want to say and think about and talk about, and that's always informed our content, which is why I think our content doesn't necessarily always like trend. We've trended quite a few times, okay? But that's never, that's never our goal. And I think by that token, YouTube has never been like the perfect fit for us.
All that being said, we have realized that it would be great if we could find a way to rely less on advertising, not make it such a big part of our business. So we've been...
When you're in the entertainment industry, advertising is how you make your money. Full stop. Like that is how you make your money, because even with live TV, in an actual television show, that advertising has always been how people make their money. So that's why YouTube, for example, you get paid more during the Christmas season, because ads cost more to play, because everyone wants to advertise. So there's more to do with supply and demand. There's more demand and maybe less supply, so the price skyrockets. And that's YouTube goes off advertising, but that also goes for live TV. I don't understand this idea of advertising and relying on it when that's literally the entirety of the entertainment industry relies heavily on advertising. If you look at anywhere, even Netflix now is starting to rely on ads, and people are mad about it because they pay so much and there's still ads on there. But at the same time, because they wanted to make more money, the advertisers will pay them more money, so they'll make more. Another thing that I wanted to point out, I know a lot of people are blaming Stephen Lim for this decision, but Ryan Bergara is actually the person who's been talking about this TV style videos, and they're like having that really high production quality to do with TV. I keep repeating myself, but that's essentially what it is, that it's going to be like a TV show. And he's been saying that on the channel for a long time, ever since they've started. I've watched a lot of their videos, and Ryan's the one who always brings it up, not the other two. And if anything, I don't think it's Steven's fault, or at least the idea isn't his fault. I think the idea, from what I can tell, likely came from Ryan, and Steven went, okay, if you want to do that, what can we do in order to create that, and kind of got on board with that because he's the CEO type position. I don't know if he's the actual CEO or if there's a different, I think he's CEO. And he probably was like, well, it's like, I'm in charge of this business, let's see what we can do for those ideas and to level us up. And I think people are putting a lot of blame on Steven because apparently a lot of you guys don't like him. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's Ryan's fault. No offense, Ryan. I'm a Bergara, but come on. I really do think it's Ryan's fault.
Working over the past few months and years, like, how can we make this business more sustainable? How can we make something where we can make the things that we want to make for all of you guys and not be worried about all the other forces that are here? In terms of where this company is going and where I believe that we can be the most successful, YouTube is no longer the place for that.
For anybody who's watched or supported us to this point, truly, Thank you. The goal was always to make television caliber quality content.
Once again, Ryan is the only person who's mentioned the TV caliber content. Steven has touched on it. He hasn't said the exact words, but he's touched on leveling it up and making it sustainable. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not super capable as a whole at budgeting and being resourceful. Their sustainability is not great. They're really just not good at what they do in money wise. And I understand the creativity, but when you're creative and you have this idea, you have to work with what you have, and they don't seem to be doing that. So once again, I think it's Ryan who's putting out this idea that I think it's Ryan Bergara with the ego. I'm standing my ground on that. You guys can argue with me in the comments for all I care. Do it. I don't care.
Not just for YouTube, but for you guys. I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
No, we won't. We are. Okay, this is too long. Get on with the point. Hurry up. Okay. Oh, they're being so cinematic.
To our very own independent streaming service, Watcher. Watcher is an ad-free, independent streaming service dedicated to providing you guys the television caliber content that you know and love. But you're probably wondering, how is it going to be different than the YouTube experience?
The new streamer, I think, is a place that reflects what our content is. High quality series in season form, beautifully organized, ad-free. It's what we were destined to be.
First of all, bigger and better content.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to improve Ghost Files. I mean, I'm very happy with how the show has been, produced so far, but the streamer is going to give us an opportunity to really add to it from a format standpoint.
How? Truly, how is it going to be different? I still don't see how the content is going to be different and what it's going to add, other than the fact that they're going to make more money, which they don't. I would say there's maybe a few hundred, maybe a few thousand people who are moving over to the streaming service. Like, I've seen a couple people in TikTok comments and whatever. Nothing on their YouTube, but on TikTok comments, people are saying that they have bought it, but they totally respect people not being able to afford it, because it is weird that they've done it. But a few thousand people aren't going to give them the budget that they need for this. And I think it's just so insane that they think that they can do this, when I really don't see how it's different whatsoever. I'm not quite sure I understand what the idea is here. There was one thing that I thought of when I first heard the news, like, if they were good for TV, they would have been picked up by a station or whatever. They would have been picked up by, like, live TV, another streaming service, at some point, if they had that kind of quality. I know the Try Guys were picked up by, who was it? I don't remember who it was, but their cooking show, the Without a Recipe, was picked up by someone right before the Ned Fulmer scandal, and that's because they have good quality content. Now, Watcher is really good quality, but like I said earlier, it's good for YouTube, but not for TV. Like, I would say the only one that I can really see going to TV is Ghost Files. Everything else is like YouTube humor, YouTube set out, YouTube form, YouTube structure. When you're structuring a story, different platforms require different structuring of stories, and I would say Ghost Files is the only one that fits TV and other streaming services, because it's just that kind of quality. That's just what it looks like. It's the vibe, essentially, is what I'm kind of getting at. And if it was going to be picked up, it would have been picked up already. So maybe people did offer and they rejected it because they wanted to have ownership over these series. But, creating, with such a small fan base, creating your own thing like this is just not going to work.
But we'll also be able to take bigger swings and go international. Like, we're going to the UK and we're going to Scotland. also, the more resources we have, the more time we could focus on making the show better. And every season of that show, I want it to be better than the last. And I'm very excited for season 3, which you guys will see on the streamer.
The advent of this streamer has allowed me to bring the gang back together.
That's true.
Adam,
Your pals.
Andrew, the old friends from Worth It, and we're going to be launching this.
Can you imagine just coming on board to a sinking ship? It's like the ship was docked and just left, and it's already sinking because it had holes in it. You know, they didn't check for holes first. They didn't do their rounds. They didn't do their safety checks. This is the Titanic. I'm sorry, but this channel sincerely has become the Titanic. No, worse. This is Ocean Gate. I'm sorry. I'm gonna compare Watcher to Ocean Gate because they know there are other examples. I don't know enough about them to properly comment on it, but there are other examples of like a YouTube platform or other streaming services that have gone bankrupt, and the Titanic sunk, and Ocean Gate knew that they were going somewhere incredibly dangerous, and Watcher themselves knew from past examples, or that the lack of information, Ocean Gate had, they chose to do it anyway. They think they're pioneers. The Titanic was a pioneer. Ocean Gate was not a pioneer. It was stupid. And it was dumb, and they didn't use their resources properly, exactly like Watcher is doing. Yeah, I'm standing by that analogy. Watcher, you guys are Ocean Gate. Because it's funny to see rich people fail.
Spiritual successor, which is going to be called Travel Season.
Were you excited to work with Steven again?
Yeah. After 12 seasons of Worth It, it feels great to make something that is very similar and based on a lot of those experiences, but we get to dispense with all the stuff that we don't like.
So if you want to catch that, you can watch it on May 31st. It's going to be a full 6-episode season, and you can watch it all if you remember.
6 episodes. 6 episodes. I want to know how often are they posting a week? Because I've seen some people saying like $6 for 4 episodes a month is ridiculous, which I personally think as well, ridiculous.
And not only will there be new, fresh shows, we're going to put it up to the members to resurrect a show from the past. There are a lot of shows that maybe didn't do phenomenally on YouTube that would be performing perfectly fine on a streamer.
What a weird, wonderful idea.
How would it? I genuinely don't understand how something could do better on a streaming service than on YouTube. I'm not seeing the vision right now, because YouTube, look, the discoverability on YouTube isn't at its best right now, especially, I'm a very small channel, so I understand that YouTube doesn't push everything as much as it probably could, but a streaming service is isolating yourself to an even smaller niche, and it just doesn't make much sense. How is a streaming service different, especially since your viewers are going to stay the same and you're not going to be able to find new viewers? I heard they're probably going to mention in a second, they're going to apparently show us the first episode of each season on YouTube, which is going to get them the new viewers, and I truly don't think that's going to happen. When I woke up this morning to this video, they were at 2.99 million followers, and then I checked just before this video, they're at 2.89, so they've lost about 100,000 subscribers thus far, and they're going to continue to lose them. They're not going to get new viewers, especially if you watch, it's like YouTube Red. Does that still exist? I don't know. Anyway, YouTube's paywalls. When you watch an episode, there's one free episode that you can watch on a streaming platform, and then you have to pay for the rest. You watch the episode, and most of the time it's not good enough for you to pay for the rest of it, because that you'd be opening yourself to an entire streaming platform you don't need. So with people on YouTube, they're the everyday people who go there for free content. They're expecting free content, and suddenly you put one episode out and go, you have to go and pay for the rest of it. People are going to ignore you, okay? They're not going to pay attention at all.
What a weird, wonderful idea that would be.
I'm excited about the prospect of bringing on some new talent, some new faces, and making content around them. And, you know, being able to shape some shows that don't always involve us is something I'm really excited about. And, you know, we get to maybe bring back a little blue guy.
When it comes down to it, end of the day, why not? That should be our slogan. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I imagine he'll pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
That's fair. But, you know, all this to say, you'll still occasionally see us on YouTube. We're going to post trailers for our shows there. We're going to have the season premieres of all of our series on there. But if you want to watch the full seasons of all of our content, the streamer will be the exclusive home for all of that starting May 31st.
Steven, talk about money.
Yeah, what's this price?
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but
this is where a lot of people are getting pissed off. I want to tell you guys that I converted, this is in USD, $6 is in USD. I converted it to AUD, and normally AUD is like heaps more than USD, so it costs us close to $10. I think it was $9.35 that we have to pay if we want to watch Watcher in their streaming platform, which is insane. It's very close to like a basic plan for any other streaming service. I believe you can get Stan for that price, and Stan has a number of shows in different niches and different categories and genres, and there's so much more content on Stan, and Watcher just doesn't have the amount of content to justify being able to watch or being able to pay $6 a month or whatever, $60 a year, something like that. I don't know.
But it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
And look, you can share it, you know, with your friends.
That's true.
What are we gonna do?
Share it with your friends. I get the feeling, from what I've seen in this video, Shane has no clue what's going on whatsoever. I truly believe he's an employee. He's in this position of an employee, and he probably sat in there and had no final decision in it. He probably wanted to make it as low as possible, the price as well. And I think a lot of people in the comments, I'm not going to show the comments because I need you guys to go there in the comments. It's so funny. It's absolutely hilarious what people are saying in there. I know a lot of people on Shane's side because he is very like anti-capitalism. He has a lot of that kind of rhetoric as well. And Watcher has kind of gathered all the people who are anti-capitalist and eat the rich sort of ideologies. There are so many people who are like super povo, and I know I have a lot of US people viewers. Povo is equal to poverty, so I'm calling people poor of Watcher viewers. I'm sorry, I'm also poor. I can't afford this streaming service either. I'm povo. I'm sorry. I will admit that. Anyway, so they don't have the money. I saw someone in the comments talking about how they watched their like a season of like Ghost Files or Mystery Files or something in line for the food bank. Watcher, your viewers are not able to afford $6. It's insane that you're even asking like a little bit of money. Some people I know like will budget like $10 for meals a week, you know, and they don't have a lot of money, and that $6 could be the difference between someone eating a meal that night or not, and you're asking for their meal ticket, essentially. And there's a lot of people on YouTube who go to YouTube for free content, and it's out of touch entirely, and that's exactly what's going on in the comments right now. I have a lot of tabs that reveal what university I go to, so I'm not going to show you the comments, you know, because you'll be able to see the tabs anyway. Go and laugh at the comments because I agree with them and I'm finding you guys absolutely hilarious. So thank you for commenting. You made my day after seeing this stupid video.
Eyes glued on all of our social channels. We'll be announcing some sweet opportunities to win merch, a free annual subscription, and a bunch of other wacky stuff.
Oh, how interesting. We're announcing places to get stuff. Give us more money. You know, we're announcing this. Give us more money, even more. More money. Shut up.
for those of you that sign up before May 31st, because we are going to have a little bit of a beta period, which will be launching today, actually.
Right now. You can sign up right now.
As of today.
Beta period, so you're going to pay the same amount or at least 30% off because they're testing it. They don't think it's going to work. So pay lots of money for something that won't work.
The release of this video, April 19th.
Think of this beta period as a soft launch, an opportunity for early adopters to sign up, help us work out the kinks, and provide feedback to
help us work it. Pay us your money, and then you'll do all the work for us.
It's for everybody.
Yeah, the beta will be a transitional period where you'll still be able to access content on YouTube, but beginning May 31st, you'll need to become a member of our streaming service to access.
Okay, so you can access the videos right now, but later on they're going to take it away. I know in the comments they pinned a comment saying that people think that they're taking away comments. Apparently they were not comments, they were taking away videos. Apparently they were taking away videos straight away, and they stopped doing it. I don't know, I can't verify that for you guys for sure, so I'm not gonna like place blame, but it does sound like that after next month, they are probably going to take all the content away that is on their streaming platform to encourage you guys to subscribe to their streaming platform. Don't fall for it. People are probably gonna download the videos and repost them, so wait until that happens if you guys want to watch your favorite content without there being a paywall, or if you can download the content before they get rid of it. So yeah, good luck guys, I wish you luck. Get all your favorite content, your comfort content.
Successful seasons and new releases. And as a thank you to our first members, those that sign up before May 31st will have the opportunity to vote to bring back your favorite show. And not only that, but we're giving members who sign up before May 31st a whole 30% off their annual subscription.
So if you want to become a member right now, you can actually go to our description. You can click on the link somewhere in the video, but it's just watchyourtv.com. Super easy.
That's right. WatchYourTV.com.
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 Watch your TV.
Watch your TV.
Watch your TV. Watch Watcher on your TV.
WatchYourTV.com.
In all seriousness, we really couldn't be more excited for you guys to join us on this next chapter, hopefully. We'd love for you guys to come along with us. But at the same time, this is our final goodbye to YouTube. And you know, if it's our goodbye to you, I hope it's not, but if it is, I do want to say thank you for supporting us all along the way.
Your viewership has allowed us to do all these wonderful things that we've done these past 4 years, and we hope that you'll come along for the ride.
And help us continue to build.
Yeah.
Build this thing out even bigger. That's the hope at least, but either way, it's been fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
What I have to say to that is screw you, Watcher. I can't believe they have an ego problem. Truly, they're in over their heads, and what has led them down this path? I don't have an answer for you guys, other than the fact that, like I said earlier, Ryan is very likely the cause of this original idea. Maybe he wasn't the one that actually executed it, it was probably Steven. Now, I know a lot of people are putting Shane on a pedestal because he has that anti-capitalism rhetoric all the time. I think he probably is as much to blame, even if he didn't implement it himself. He didn't say no, he co-founded it. Maybe he didn't have a lot of power in this situation, but he definitely had the chance to jump ship or create his own YouTube channel, or whatever would have worked for him, and not lost him money in a cost of living crisis. People don't like it because it's a cost of living crisis. Like, we're in the middle of just crazy inflation, and I think the US might be in the middle of a recession. I think Australia is like just out of a recession. Like, we're not quite in it. We were dangerously close recently, but we're not as close as we used to be since our last federal election. But it's still really difficult to live. everyone's broke, and a lot of the people who are the demographic for Watcher are millennials and Gen Z. Millennials barely can afford a house. In Australia in particular, there are a lot of millennials who have like families, and because we have a housing shortage, there are families who can afford rent but can't rent anywhere because there aren't enough houses for them. And there are people who from Gen Z can't afford a freaking iced coffee. Like, we can't like, we're broke. Like, there are people I know that just can't afford to live and are just not able to make rent every month because we're not getting paid enough, and we're not getting the shifts, and there are no jobs. And you're asking for our money. We don't have that kind of money. We don't have that kind of expendable income. So yeah, people are really pissed off at Watcher. And honestly, what I want Watcher to do is to not double down. Absolutely do not double down, because you will sink yourselves and you will go bankrupt. What you need to be doing right now is coming back to YouTube and being like, look, we made a mistake. This is what our streaming platform is going to look like, and this is what our YouTube is going to look like from now on. You know, just make a new plan and separate the content. You know, maybe there'll be higher quality content on the streaming service, and there will be like vlogs on the YouTube. You know, they just need to reevaluate what they're doing, because what you've done is wrong. And doubling down, truly, I need to repeat this, you will go bankrupt. You will not succeed in this at all. This will not work for you, because you've surrounded yourself with an audience that is against everything you've just put out with this video. I know that there are people buying the streaming service, and I'm not telling off any of these people, because if that's how you want to spend your money, do whatever you want, you know, do whatever makes you happy. If you have an expendable income, you do you, boo. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, but what Watcher is doing is like begging on their knees for money, and it seems like they haven't budgeted correctly. And like I was discussing earlier with resourcefulness, and I just don't think, from what I've watched previously from their channel, they don't seem like they're doing things properly. I think Watcher, your budget is in the wrong place. I don't know. I would love to see what your budgets look like for like Ghost Files, because I truly don't think you're doing the right thing. It's really weird what you guys are doing. So that's all I have to say about it. Like, screw you, Watcher, for thinking and having an ego problem. You know, step back for a little bit, take a break, take down your streaming service temporarily, create a new plan, and come back, apologize for being out of touch and being rich assholes, for lack of a better phrase. Actually, no, rich assholes is exactly what you guys are. And you know what, you need to apologize and realize that not everyone's like you. It's just, I don't even know what else to say, because it has actually genuinely made me really mad that these people that had this anti-capitalist, eat the rich attitude have become the rich that we want to eat and take down. Because, you know, the world is hungry, and you're about to be added to the menu. So thanks a lot, Watcher. I will no longer be watching. I will be unsubscribing. You're cancelled. Good luck in your life. I hope the people who can get jobs, the 25 people who work for Watcher, I hope you guys get new jobs, and fast. And yeah, good luck. Good luck to those employees who are going to lose their jobs when they go bankrupt. Anyway, guys, comment your thoughts about Watcher down below. I'd love to hear them. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But I've been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!